Baci Sospesi, un progetto di Barbara Sbrocca.
I saw him and I actually pursued him because I met him at work and I thought, oh, he's cute. So I saw him try to be his friend. I remember we were dating for a little while and I went to a party, and while I was at the party, I had one of his friends pull me aside and she goes, he really loves you a lot. And I was like, oh, really? And I'm like, what makes you say that? Because I'm in the party, I'm talking to people, we're having a nice time. And I'm not thinking anything of it. She goes, look at how he's looking at you right now. And I looked across the party and he was very loving look. And I thought, oh, well, that's really sweet. We actually dated for 8 years before we got married, which for a lot of people is a really long time, but I was also very young when we first started dating. So for me, I was like, I want to get all my goals, I want to do all my things in my life first, so like graduate college, all the things. And once I kind of started to meet all those things, I thought, okay, I'm ready to get married. He is a very private person. He's very conservative, keeps everything close. I'm very opposite. I am very emotive, I'm very expressive. So I said I love you to him first. But it was cute to see from her that she acknowledged it before I even had noticed. So I went, oh, this is what's happening, okay. So it was kind of the beginning, of how everything was going, and I watched him for a while, and then I got to know him as a person, and I thought, okay, he's such a hard worker, and I was raised that way as well. Like, you work really, really hard, and you put 110% into everything you do, make it as best you can, and being loyal and being honest. And his laugh is the best. I was lucky to have the immediate attraction first, and then everything else kind of fell behind it, that it worked. I like really bad jokes. The ones that make you kind of cringe a little bit, where it's like a pun. I had previously dated men that I was friends with them first. And I thought, well, I get along with this person. Clearly, we should try to date. And I was very young, so I didn't know any better. So I thought, oh, we're friends, so this makes sense, right? We should try dating. It does not make sense. Some people will say, I'm done very quickly. And sometimes that's appropriate if it's not a healthy relationship. If it's toxic, you should leave. But I think there's other times where you bring previous situations from old relationships with you to the new relationship and project a bit. Like, for example, I had several guys that cheated on me before I met him. Your brain gets a little bit too in it. And so I had to take a step back and say, you know what, he's not them. You be in the moment, be with him, and see where it goes. We spent a lot of time together when we first started dating. Obviously, we were together for years and years before we got married, but I was with him a lot of that time. And so when we moved in, it didn't necessarily feel like a huge transition had happened because I was so used to being around him so much. I was fortunate too where we decided to move in, we actually moved in to another city together. I guess the biggest surprise for when we did move in together is I thought that he would be way more reserved on combining things and making things as a couple. And I was actually more reserved and more guarded about that. He teased me a lot. He was like I didn't want to mix our stuff up. And he was like, really? Like, seriously right now? And I was like, no, you don't understand. Like, when we're married, we'll mix stuff up. Because I'm scared about this. We're a team. Because we've been through so much together for so long. And we've grown up. I mean, of course, you know, all couples fight, but like, started to date him when I was 18. So I've literally been through my whole life with him. And so we've learned, you know, a lot about each other and about how to overcome hardships and, you know, grief and love and challenges. And there was never a time where I was really in a place that was bad that I thought, oh, like, I can't go to him and talk to him about this, you know? And I think a lot of couples sometimes still are afraid to... I mean, I definitely have had moments where I've been nervous to talk about things, talk things out, but never... So you really just have to be patient, and not only with them, but with you. Do I need some time? Do they need some time? What's really going on? Can we work through this? Okay. When I grew up, my parents were married, and they've been married since they were super young. My husband, his family dynamic was he has his parents, but they divorced. And so I was very, very fortunate to have a stable, they take care of each other and they look out for each other and work through stuff. So when we got married and started a family, it was very interesting because I'm very much, everything revolves around family, and my husband is very much, maybe breathe a little, give them some space, let them grow and into themselves and blossom, and so I am trying to learn to borrow from him. It's a give and take there as well. I grew up and still fight having really terrible anxiety. A lot of times, you know, your brain tells you, oh, all the things that could go wrong, it's taken a lot of time to try to rewire my brain into being like, well, what could go right? So growing up, I thought, instead of limiting myself because I'm so anxious and saying, oh, I can't do it, or, you know, they can't possibly want to talk to me, and this is in everything, in relationships, in career, in all aspects of life. I thought, okay, why not? Just see how it goes.
Baci Sospesi, un progetto di Barbara Sbrocca.